Welcome back. You're watching ED Inside. Without doubt, the number of Indians living into their 70s and 80s will grow in the years ahead. But not all of them will be equal consumers. Lakshna Gulati tells you why.
If life starts at 40, it's a whole new India that's coming of age. The fabulous 50s, the swinging 60s, sterling 70s and the enlightened 80s. And getting grey is no longer associated with helplessness.
Increasingly you are seeing that like I was saying that this segment of old in India, it's very peculiar to India, are suddenly seeing a whole lot of action around them. Yeah? So it is actually not a bad time to be and compared to their their parents, let's say. The old age signified a certain slowing down and kind of a thing. Abhi, even if it is in minimal quantities, look at the portrayal of old people. It's enjoying.
They require consumer electronic products, they require TVs, they require laptops. Again, there's a very large chunk of children who are overseas who would like to communicate with their parents or want to have a good life for their parents. So in many cases, these are some things which, as far as people are concerned, older or grey population, you can come out with products specifically focus on them.
But despite that, marketers continue to chase India's youth, and with good reason, because that's where the critical mass and influence is.
इसमें है हेल्थ मेकर पावर विटामिन्स के साथ Foodles from Horlicks.
Horlicks has been a heritage brand in this country for over 100 years, and Horlicks was always associated with the old, with the graying population, because Horlicks is meant to give you more energy, and it's the old who feel depleted of energy, and therefore they look for that energy. And particularly markets in Tamil Nadu and West Bengal would swear by Horlicks, the graying generation. But for some reason, even Horlicks has fallen into this temptation of now expanding their market with kids or even with women.
Take for instance the case of Pepsi, one of India's biggest advertisers in the beverages segment, which insists on wooing the young.
You see brand Pepsi, its personality, it is light-hearted, it's cheeky, it's irreverent, it takes on conventions, and in the right way challenges conventions and authority, and to me all of this is really what the youth is.
Okay, so grey may not be the new blue, and it's not just authority that has to be challenged, but also the old way of thinking, like Cadbury's has in its recent campaign. Or like McDonald's has been doing for several years. But marketing to the silver generation is no easy task. At the top of the list of challenges is the fact that many of them are poor and cannot consume any meaningful goods or services. And if the aged are not poor, then there's the perception that life quite literally comes to a halt at 45.
You need to, reconcile yourself with the fact that, it is all right. I mean, people don't wither away and die when they turn 45. Meaning that, and this automatic association with, with the fact that you cross a certain age, you stop spending money or stop being interested in life.
Next in line are the consumption habits of senior citizens.
The decision to buy and the amount to buy for is taken by the head of the household, who may be a person who's 45, 50-year-old. But when he looks to choose, he asks his son or daughter to actually do the research, and that son or daughter may be in the age group of 15, 20, 25 perhaps, and it is important to for the brand to be relevant for those youngsters who will influence the choice.
The young are more adaptive, they adopt technology faster, better, they in a sense more fickle, while the old are more loyal, more staid, they're not so easy to ship. Now, if one looks at it, that's a strength and a weakness.
The market is small. It's not a very big market, and with our kind of lifestyle where we have joint families still existing. Yes, in cities you see nuclear families, but we do stay with our parents and elderly people. So what happens is many times their demands or their requirements get bypassed.
That's one of the biggest reasons why companies don't find the need to innovate or increase their product categories to suit the aged. This is in sharp contrast with developed markets like Japan, where companies spend trillions of dollars to cater to this segment. For starters, they have a completely different line of food products fortified with nutrients for the elderly, and these are just as easily available as baby food. India needs to learn quickly because in absolute numbers it has the second largest aging population in the world after Japan. And it's better that marketers wake up to this reality sooner than later.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of ET Insight. We'll be back next week, but until then, don't forget to write in with your feedback and suggestions. Thanks so much for watching.